Hi, today I want to talk to you about self awareness. So, I have been I've been working on self awareness for myself. I think it's important that we are paying attention to ourselves, what makes us click, our blind spots, things that are not quite right. Even if you've got like a yes man, somebody who you talk to, and every time you talk to them, they say that you're good, that they don't see you that way, and they don't see you in a negative light. Just know that there are things there are weaknesses, there are issues that you have. There's these little things that that are not quite right with all of us, and unless we are every single day trying to become more self-aware, we miss these things. We listen to people who don't see us for who we really are, and they don't know us for who we really are, because and you want somebody who can be honest, right? Let's just face it, we want people that can be honest with us. But what I realized is I had been talking to someone. I was just talking to her, just kind of back and forth, and I was saying some things to her that people were saying to me. Like my sister, my baby sister, she says, okay, she can't talk to me, she can't approach me because I always look mean, and she just didn't know if she could talk to me, if I would be upset, if I was in a bad mood. And so she was the first person, and I always thought, I'm pretty approachable. I'm quiet, I'm shy. I always want to treat people right, do the right thing. I think that I look happy and I'm okay. I feel love towards people. I feel a genuine love towards people. But if you are not self-aware, you miss things that you think that you're a certain thing, but you're not. And so this is a blind spot for me, right? So my sister says it, and I'm thinking, I don't understand. Like, I was thinking, like, she being a little sensitive, it doesn't really make any sense. Of course she could talk to me, and I told her, after she told me this several times, I told her, I was like, well, I'm not going to be the way you want me to be all the time. Like, I'm not going to be, smiling and joking, and I'm not going to be my husband. And my husband has personality is completely different from mine. He's really super approachable, and I want to be that way, but I want to be who God created me to be. I always want to be better, but I want to be who God created me to be. And I'm shy. I'm really shy by nature. So she told me several times later, she doesn't know if she could talk to me if I'm, upset, or if she, I'm just not approachable for her. And I said, well, I'm just not going to be this jolly, smiling, all the time person that you want me to be. And then I had a daughter who is the truth walking. She will say whatever she feels. And so, of course, there's some wisdom that has happened. But she told me one day, she was like, why do you have the mean face? Like, real sweet, quiet. She was like, why do you have the mean face? And I'm like, what do you mean? Why do I have a mean face? And I was completely fine. Of course, sometimes when she says it, I'm not really in a good mood, but she'll say, why do you have a mean face? It might be something she's asking me. It might be something she wants and she's trying to figure out. And my husband said it the other day, he was trying to read me. And it's very interesting. But what I realized is that even though, and I'll give you another example. My son, a couple weeks ago, it was just like a crazy day. And he comes to me and he hugs me. He's 31. So I'm 49. He's 31. So he comes and hugs me. He's taller than I am, And it was a sweet surprise. But I realized in that moment that people who love me are trying to tell me I am cold. I might be loving and think that I'm approachable, but I am cold. I could be very have a serious face all the time, and people don't know how to approach me. They don't know what to say. They don't know if they can say anything. So it's something I got to work on, right? So my son didn't say anything, of course, but after he walked off, I was thinking, wow, you love your children. Of course, I love my son. He's my oldest son. He's been with me the longest. Of course, I love him. But what I didn't realize is that when people come to me, I am cold. I can be very, very cold. And I thought, interesting. My sister and my baby tried to tell me, and I missed it. Like, I was thinking it was something wrong with them. I was thinking, like, I'm just like, I got this serious face, But really, I got to work on it. I got to really work on being more approachable, not necessarily changing myself to be like my husband or somebody else, but I just got to be more approachable so that people who love me and people who I'm doing business with or meeting for the first time or whatever, they feel safe to approach me, to say, to talk to me, to realize that I want them to approach me. I want them to say what they need to say. I want to be there for them. I want them to see the love of God in me. And so that has not been the case. So if you, like for me, if I wasn't paying attention, if I didn't take them serious, if I didn't start looking at myself like really, and really it was nothing but God, right? He immediately spoke to me after this, like, you love people, that's cool, but you are cold. Like, you don't really, you don't engage with people. You don't say what you don't do the things that you need to be doing so people feel loved, so it's a work in progress. But self-awareness is important. You got to pay attention to people who love you when they say things to you. It's something you should pay attention to. People on the outside, of course, I always believe and listen to people on the outside. You can take it with a grain of salt, but some of the stuff, there's some grain of truth in most cases when people tell us from the outside. But when our loved ones tell us, they have nothing to gain from telling us the truth. They don't have nothing to gain to hurt us. So listen to what they have to say. But self-awareness is important. We need to pay attention. If people around us are turned off, there's certain things that's happening around us. We need to pay attention and see if it's us. Because a lot of times we think it's somebody else. We think it's people on the outside, but it's really us. And we're just not paying attention. We're just walking around, not paying attention, but pay attention. There's so much that we can learn about ourselves to be better every single day. And self-awareness is so important. We need to pay attention. And we pray. If we can pray and listen, God will show us. He'll speak to us. He'll let us see the things that our blind spots, things about ourselves that we don't have any idea if we're not paying attention. So pay attention, become self-aware, study yourself. Just make it the next year that you're going to study yourself. You're going to pay attention to the things that you like, you don't like, things that people are saying. Just start journaling about it. Just start writing it down. This person said this about me. This person says this. And then you'll start to see for yourself. You'll see patterns. You'll see trends. Everybody can't be wrong, right? So you got to make sure that you're paying attention, that you're looking, you're listening, you're writing it down so you can kind of see, and you can know yourself better. So self-awareness is important. Get to know yourself today. Just for a year, just study yourself every single day.